welcome everyone to the WiVLA exhibition entitled Rise. The other co-chair of exhibitions, I'm Deborah Ellington. I'm one co-chair, the other one is Shirley Beyer. We are very fortunate to have Fran Ellisor, who was our juror for this exhibition, and I'll let her go ahead and tell you a little bit about herself.
When they asked me to write up things about myself, well, you can pull stuff off the website, you can pull it off of social media, etc. But I think the only important thing is to say I too am a fellow artist. I own a small gallery. I'm a signature member in several national organizations and have headed a national organization. I've judged museum shows, college shows, regional shows, and it is never easy. And this show, for me, so that's all I'm going to say about myself. I think what's important tonight is what's in this room. And it was one of the hardest shows I've ever judged, mainly because the work is so strong. And it was all basically about a theme. So I really couldn't recognize individual pieces as being, you know, this or that or whatever. But one thing it did was they all gave rise to humanity. And that was important to me. And of course to women as well. So when I started judging, I had to judge digitally, and that's hard, and they come in randomly, and so the first thing I see is just a bunch of random squares. They're all shown the same size, so I don't know what's big, what's small. I looked through 200 pieces 4 times before I ever set any kind of criteria as to how I was going to judge the show. So I went through, and the first thing in it was the jury selection process. That was a website, and it said that I had to judge by rejection. And so I called these women and I said, I don't reject anything. And so they explained the process over and over, and finally I said, well, I'm still not going to reject anything. So I went through and accepted stuff. And I based most everything on all the things that you think about when you judge or you look at art. Composition, color, harmony, on and on. All the things you can look at. And in the end, when they told me I would not have to give awards, I said, give awards. I can just pick. And so then when I walked in, what day was that? Sunday, they said, oh, you have to pick awards. And I said, that's not at all fun. One of the reasons I accepted it, this particular one, was because they said you also have to curate how it's hung. You select the pieces and where they go and how they're hung, and I thought, oh, this is going to be fun, because I do like doing that, and have some experience because of the national shows I've been in. This again was hard, but in the end, I think it all came together. I think this is one of the most beautiful shows I've ever been in, including when my own pieces are hanging. So again, they asked me to, when I had to pick awards, it was like, once it was hung, I walked through and picked about 7 or 8 of them out that I thought were good pieces. Again, I looked at all of the pieces are good. Let me go back. Every single one of these is excellent. So again, I couldn't reject. I just had to say what speaks about the theme of the show. You know, all of them are good compositions. All of them have beautiful harmony and color and thought processes, excellent application of the in their medium, whether they're painting or sculpture, etc. And once I had selected the 4, I realized I basically pulled out of each medium. I didn't intend to do that. It just fell out that way. And so I would like y'all to walk with me to the piece can I do that? I can talk art all day long. I can look at art all day long. And so the first honorable mention goes to the courage to stand.
Come on, JB.
She's the only person who talks.
He's got honorable mention. To me, the idea of this and the ability to put this kind of thought together into an easily readable subject, I think deserve an honor. So I don't know how honorable mention falls, but to me it's an honor. And if you will, I photographed this piece before I left here. And I got down right here. And all you see is white. It's a beautiful photograph of your piece, by the way. And then you begin to see that the first woman stands. I no longer try to identify woman or man. I think we're all human beings. And that's what we need. I think that's what we need to dwell on. So these are all women. And so first one woman stands and someone else joins her. And then 3 more join her. And all of a sudden they're all standing and now they're in a march. I think in fact this tells a story. The concept is a great concept. So I can talk about each of these, how inspiring all of these pieces are. I think this whole wall is inspiring. But for the third place, I chose Katherine McDaniel. By the way, I don't know any of y'all. I know you. This is a photograph. And a lot of people think, well, a photograph is easy. There's a person who takes a lot of photographs. They are not. You have to know what you're doing in order to convey the story that you want to convey. So this photograph had 2 meanings that came through here. First, it's the rising people. Again, this is about rising. We don't know whether these are men or women in this. But the other thing that I thought about, how old these are. Way back then, people still were wanting to raise the human spirit up. And I think this image conveyed that. So again, it's about rising. And I don't know how to say it, but it's just really special. So we can thank her for doing it, and we can thank them for creating a work of art that has lasted through the ages. And let's hope all of ours does that. Now the next 2 pieces are just right up over on this wall. And the second place goes to Benedetto. We talked just a minute ago. I kept coming back to this piece because I never was really quite sure exactly what it was saying. but I found it so interesting in how it was done. And I don't know anything about raising up a black woman, but I know that raising a woman is a special treat for all mothers. I don't know what this means, but to me, it conveys, the piece has to convey a story, even if it's a story of the viewer's own making. It has to have something that pulls you to it. Trust me, every piece in here does have that. Tell us what this means. What does this mean to you?
Well, for me, I'm from Georgia originally, and a lot of black women raise children and are still raising our children. And I like the idea of raising up things that I care about. And I thought, well, I'm going to raise up a black woman. And I said, in order to really truly raise a black woman, you need some magic. I mean,
That's what I
know. And this guy, I took this image here. He's a circus guy, and he's being caught. I mean, like he's a trapeze artist, and he's being caught. You don't have to know that, but that's where I got that. And I think it's about letting go of power to raise people who need more power in the world. So for me, it was like that.
Is that not special?
Get you get it.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a very interesting piece, and I do think it says a lot about raising the human being. So I don't have to walk too far, and y'all don't have to go anywhere. First place goes to Kristen Ferguson. This really showed up as people rising in a digital format because it flattens things out. But there's all kinds of things in here. There's good textural movement. There's a lot of nice color harmony in it. It's a beautiful piece, and it just looks like a lot of people rising up. And again, that's what it is. So again, I say that this piece there's like a light in here. And so I think it's beautiful. That's about all I can say, that anybody that looks at this piece is going to find this inspirational forever. But I would like to say that each and every one of you that have a piece here, and each and every one of you that maybe entered and did not get a piece in, I can assure you it got a lot of my thoughts, and they were all excellent. Congratulations to all of you.
I would also like to thank Melanie Law. She's not on the exhibition committee, but I could not have done this without her. So thank you so much.